I'm Mike Jacobson with the Tune Investments here, and today we are having a conversation with Jonathan Barr. He is an investor in California, and he also likes investing in multifamily properties. So we're going to have a little conversation, and I'm going to ask you, Jonathan, can you want to start off and just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So grew up in real estate family, kind of always been around it. I'm a former flipper, joined the family flip business after the '08 recession. We went to the foreclosure auctions and we were buying like 7, 8 homes a month at one point, and we did about 400 deals in a 10-year period. Also during that time period, did some development, ground up townhouse style developments, a couple apartments, all in Los Angeles, and then had a small portfolio of multifamily in Los Angeles that I leased and managed myself. So I've kind of been in the trenches as well. And during that same time period, I bought a few duplexes that appreciated 400% that I've now since sold and 1031 into a building in Kansas City and now a couple buildings in Oklahoma City. And this business, I'm partnered with my brother, which is completely separate from the family business. And we have another 118 units under contract. And half the money has come from us, and the other half has come from our passive investors that invested in the deal alongside us. And we keep things kind of small, but we're still doing like a few deals a year, and we're still relatively young, so we could do this probably for decades.
Well, that certainly sounds exciting, Jonathan. And you have already had quite a varied experience. You mentioned, going from the flipping and, then into the buy and holds, and
Yep.
now 118 units under contract. That is really awesome.
Yep. Yeah,
So
they'll put us at about 300 units in the Midwest after that purchase.
very nice.
Yeah.
And so you've kind of progressed towards multifamily. Why did you choose multifamily?
I think it was just a natural progression. We were in the flip business, which is residential. We did like 1 to 4 unit multifamily in LA and dealt with tenants, and it just was kind of the natural progression of what's the next step. Then I did a 14 unit, and then we jumped to the 72 unit, 69 unit, and then 118 units. So it's just kind of been the natural progression of being in the residential space, dealing with tenants. Though we are looking at other asset classes now. So I've put an offer on storage and a retail strip center as well. So we're kind of exploring other avenues just because multifamily is really hot right now. And so we're just seeing what else is out there in Oklahoma City as well, close to our apartment. So they kind of complement each other as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about your favorite multifamily project?
Sure. So I'd say the first deal we did in Oklahoma City, we just bought it for 45 a door, and it's probably worth 75 a door now. So that's a pretty good reason why. But I think we got really creative there. We reduced expenses by 25%. We found a old pool room that we turned into an extra unit, and that was just a bonus that we found later. And it's just performing incredibly well. And I really like it because it was our introduction to the market. And as some of your listeners might know, getting that first deal in that market kind of puts you on the map to other brokers, and they take you more serious, and they put you higher on the list and start take you more serious for deals. And it's kind of it kind of is a snowball effect from there a bit.
Yes, that is very true. Once you get one under your belt, you have an experienced person on your team, and that, the brokers do tend to notice and give you a little more attention and respect.
Definitely. Well, they know that you can close.
And that's what's important to them.
Yeah.
No close means no commission.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, how long do you keep most of your properties?
So we're a little unusual where we're not trying to just flip it in 5 to 7 years. Since we came from the flipping space, now we want to keep it for, I like to say forever, but at least probably 27 and a half years, or at least 10 plus years. It kind of depends, because I would say some of our 70s product that we have, eventually we might sell because the systems might deteriorate to a certain point where it might make more sense to sell and 1031 into a newer asset that has less maintenance issues.
Okay. And why do you choose to hold longer than most investors?
That's how we believe long-term wealth is created. And the thing is, maybe we're not getting that big profit at that 7-year mark, but when, let's say, you're making $1,000 or $5,000 a month per property, that could really add up where you're making substantial cash flow every month that you could live off that while you're having an asset that continues to appreciate, that you could also refinance capital from tax-free to invest into other deals and kind of continue that compounding effect that really creates that wealth.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
So, is there any other nugget that you would like to pass on to our listeners?
Yeah, I think we do accelerated depreciation on all our properties. And what that allows us is to have paper losses in that first year that we can offset either other income, or we could carry it forward to future years to continue to offset the income on that property. And while we continue to buy other properties, we have passive losses to continue to offset the income. And basically, hopefully the goal being that all the income we're making off these properties, we're never paying taxes on, for us and our passive investors.
Well, that's certainly a
Yeah, it's a
goal
big plus.
that is a big plus.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of benefits there. So.
Yeah. And we don't like, I've seen some people actually put that as a return, but we don't see it as a return. We just see it as like a bonus, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can visit my website, jb2investments with a s.com. Or you can find me on Twitter. I'm the most active. I post something on there of value every day. Is just at JB2 Investments, or go to my website and I have a link to my social media handles as well.
Okay. Well, very nice. And we appreciate you taking the time with us here today, Jonathan, and wish you well, and hope some of our listeners will get in touch with you there as well.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right.